Mo, are you still? Do you still think Newcastle are more attractive?
I didn't say that. I said in the future.
Okay.
Alexander Isak is 24 years old. He's looking for 2, 3, 4 years. Who do you think is going to be in a better place? I actually think that in 4 years, I think Newcastle will be in a better place than Chelsea.
I think
Unless the Premier League. Okay, here's the thing, which is there's a big caveat here, right? Unless the Premier League puts more restriction on Newcastle spending, and now they are limited, and the Saudis are not going to be able to invest or do anything. And I'm not going to say legally or illegally, unless Newcastle are being strangled and they can't evolve and they can't like invest in the squad and they can't do that. If they are allowed to spend, if they are allowed to do stuff, right, and if they are allowed to get deals and things like that, I think 4 years from now, I genuinely think Newcastle might be in a better place than Chelsea.
Premier League champions, possibly.
I actually think as well they might be better than a lot of clubs, because I think the will of I said that many times before, the will of the Arabs to win, okay, is bigger than the will of the Arabs to make the money, win or lose money. They have genuine desire to win. You can call it whatever you want to call it. We all know that, and I think that is one of the reasons why the Arab owners, like what Man United wanted the Qataris, because their will of winning and they win. That is the thing. That I think that Saudis would want to win more than Clear Lake, more than Todd Bowley. They would go the extra mile to win. They would be willing to lose money.
I agree with you. For me, the problem is with Bowley and Iqbali. That's where I see the problem, because they're making many rash decisions. As soon as they sacked Poch, you realize the club's not serious. I'll be honest with you. Giving Maresca a 5-year contract, it's just there's too much risk. And here's the thing: is Isak willing to put his career at risk? Because he's 24. This next move is very important for him, because the next move is going to be where his prime is. That's one thing me and Mo agree on. Like, if you move now at 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, that's your prime. Your next 5 years are your prime, where you're going to bang in goals, where you're going to be the guy. Even, let's say he has big aspirations and dreams of winning a Ballon d'Or. You cannot do that at Chelsea. The way that they're Bowley and Iqbali are just absolute, it's just so foolish. It's just so foolish the way.
But don't you think if they're moving to Isak, they are moving into the right direction?
Yes, if they sign Isak, of course. Because, by the way, people think me and you have a Chelsea agenda, and I see it in the chat. They're always crying. When Chelsea signed Tosin Adarabioyo, me and you spent half an hour on the show complimenting them. So we recognize that there are good decisions that Chelsea could make, but it's about whether they make those decisions or not. But in reverse, I am not going to sit up here and go like, wow, you signed Mark Guiu and you signed Estevao. I'm not going to do that, because here's the thing. Let's assume Chelsea signed 10 talents. Right? By the way, last year they signed David Washington and like 2 other guys. We ain't even seen them. So this Estevao copium is very funny. So let's say they signed let's say they signed 8 youngsters, okay? I'm going to be very generous. I'm going to say 3 of them work. Okay, the 5 that don't work, then what? And the 3 that work, maybe one guy wants to leave to Real Madrid 3 years after. Maybe one guy wants to make the next move. Maybe one of them is loyal out of the 3. Like these are the conversations that whenever you expand on it. And by the way, people, and I have to say this, Terry, because I realize this. People actually hate the messenger, not the message. Me and Mo, we have the Chelsea fans by the you-know-what. I'm not going to say it because I don't want your stream demonetized. But we have the Chelsea fans by the you-know-what. But when I walk into the Chelsea YouTube videos and I walk into the Chelsea spaces, the Chelsea fans are actually saying the same stuff that we're saying. You know what they're saying? We've had enough of this young talent. We want experienced players. We want players who could take us to the next level. Now, I recognize what Terry said is true. It's only 26th June. So there's still July, there's still August. 100%. In 60 days, you could sign 60 players if you wanted to. I understand that. What I'm saying is, look, based on everything that they're doing, the conclusion I can come up with, based on the information that we know now, is that Chelsea are not headed in the right direction for the here and now. Maybe they have their future sorted, but short term, it might not look that good.
In 2008, from 2012, 13, 14, I believe at that time, we saw Manchester City creeping up, right? Creeping up. And if you sit today and you tell me which club is more attractive, Chelsea or Manchester City, even though Chelsea have a much bigger fan base, it is Manchester City. Without a shadow, none of us, do any of us think that Chelsea are more attractive than Man City at the current moment? When in the last year, the last 3 years, the last 4 years?
Right now, of course, Man City is more attractive. Yes.
What about 5 years ago?
Man City?
Exactly. That's the point. It's all about how the club is going. If Newcastle are going into the right direction, right? I think maybe Newcastle are in that direction. What is stopping them? FFP, PSR, all of this. But if Newcastle invest right, they fix their stadium and all this stuff. And I genuinely think that Newcastle can surpass them because of the ownership. Because of the ownership.
That
Just-
was the same thing
yeah.
logic I used for Man United. That's it for me.
Just very quickly, guys, so some breaking news that's come out. Phil Foden has temporarily left the England camp at Euro 2024 and returned to the UK for what the FA have confirmed is a pressing family matter. So a few people in the comments saying that he's left the camp. Let's get this factually right. He has temporarily left the camp for a pressing family matter. We have no idea what that means. Hopefully everybody is well, everybody is safe, everybody is in good health. And we wish all the best to Phil Foden because, of course, family is far more important than football. Yeah, but hopefully he'll be back and, you know, strong and everything will be okay. Super Chat here says Chelsea have only have Paul because they offered 8-year contracts with big money. Why did Lavia sign for a club who had just signed a player for 100 mil that plays in the same position just for the 8 years money? I think,
Tony, I have to say this is an elite super chat. I'll tell you why. There's something called in life, and this is not just a football thing. There's something in life called job security. I'm 21 and I have an 8-year contract. I'm gonna get paid till I'm 29. It doesn't matter if I'm injured. It doesn't matter if I play like crap. It doesn't matter if I play like shit. It doesn't matter if I leave or not. I'm still gonna get that 8 years worth of money. So that is a very solid point. Even if Chelsea, you know, offered 10 grand less than Liverpool or whatever, the length of the contract matters. Because if I give you an 8-year contract, that means you're literally sorted for the next 8 years, which is a big deal for these football players because they know the lifespan of a football player is very short. You know, one injury could be doomsday. So yeah, I agree with the super chat right here. People completely ignore the length always.
I get where the super chat is coming from, but I don't think it's the only reason. I don't think the only reason is job security. I do think that the players believe they've got a chance of achieving something. I wouldn't put it all down to money, but I really do appreciate the super chat. Sam, you're just a Chelsea hater. Stop the hate and move on from Lavia and Caicedo rejections. Anytime you hear Chelsea, you're quick to be negative. Wait for a D-dunk.
I know everything you've got to say against me. It's just, I said it at the start. Big up 8 Mile, Eminem, my favorite rapper. I just said it at the start, yes. I've seen it in the chat. Wallahi, you Chelsea fans are more predictable than a Man City attack. It's just the same shit over and over again. We get it. You're jealous of Lavia and Caicedo. You're annoyed that you got rejected, blah, blah, blah. Khalas, I should come here and go like, yo, Mark Guiu, fantastic signing. Estevao is going to be the next Messi. Paez is going to be the next Cristiano. That's it. Chelsea are settled for the next 5 years. Shut the hell up, Mickey. Honestly, you've just been following me everywhere, waffling. You're going to finish below us next season. You're going to be irrelevant again next year. The same bozo is going to be Maresca out by December. I promise you. Mickey, come back to daddy in December. I remember this.
Laddie here. Long time no see, Laddie. He says that if Chelsea sign Isak, all piggy will fly. Sorry for yawning.
Why?
Sorry, I didn't mean to yawn.
Because,
Sorry.
Olise didn't happen, and it's a much smaller level than Isak.
So why are they chasing Isak?
You do know what Newcastle said.
Okay, so I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying it's going to happen.
They said we'll pick up the phone at 1:50.
You know what you're saying, Hassan? You're saying that Chelsea are playing games with the fans and the media.
First of all, I don't know what the source is for the Isak news. So we don't
the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail.
But I always believe that there is no smoke, Hussam, without fire. As I'm gonna tell, if Chelsea
can I tell you the fire? Isak new contract at Chelsea in Newcastle. That's the fire.
I mean, it's from Simon Jones and Craig Hope, though. They're pretty well connected at Chelsea. So especially like, Simon Jones.
Yeah. So, there is no smoke with it. There has to be a contact with the agent and inquire about the possibility of him joining Chelsea. So basically, there is something around Isak that Chelsea have
Chelsea
inquired about.
inquiring about Isak more is like me inquiring about Rihanna. Let's not do this. It's
Okay,
just
but
not
but
gonna
why
No,
would they inquire
man.
about him?
Stop
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
no.
no, that's not. No,
It
that's
is. It's not gonna happen. It's under 50 million.
Sam,
Terry.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble here. You are not. If we're giving out looks and attractiveness as football clubs, you ain't Chelsea, bruv. You're like Plymouth.
No, I'm not Plymouth. No, I'm
You're
not
like Plymouth.
I'm
All right, okay, I'll give you a championship
I'm not.
team.
Listen,
You're like
I'm not.
Hull.
I'm
You're
not
like
gonna let
Hull.
my ego. I'm not gonna let my ego get in the way, you know. But I listen. I'm not gonna pull up screenshots right now. But let's not go there. Let's stick to football. Let's stick to football. You get me? Let's keep it to Chelsea. I just don't think Isak in Chelsea is a thing. I really don't think.
You
it will
don't think
happen.
it's actually a link? This is very
No,
strange. You're
no,
denying
no,
the link.
no. I don't think it'll happen.
It's
Isak
okay.
is a level above Chelsea.
Hold
right
on, hold on. Hossam, there is a difference because there is different conversation. I don't want to dwell on this. You know my question, Hossam. Really, you're a smart guy.
This is the
And
same
you
guy
know
that
question.
10 minutes ago said Newcastle are more
Let me
attractive.
wait. Okay, what does this have to do with my question? You don't think there is a link at all, or you don't
No.
think it will happen? There are two different things, by the way. These are two different things. Hossam, what are you looking
Khalas
at?
Mo, the same club that couldn't pay Olise's wages is the same club that will buy Isak. You are
Why would
correct.
they inquire about Isak then?
Listen, you can inquire. There's nothing. They can inquire about Mo Salah tomorrow. What does that mean? Nothing.
I think the only way they can do
Mo,
this is
Newcastle said they'll pick up the phone at 150. Stop it. Stop lying to these Chelsea fans. Stop gaslighting them.
and I'm not, but the reported fee is 115 million pounds.
Do you think Chelsea can sign Isak? Yes or no?
If he wants to move, yes.
So you think Chelsea will pay 150 million?
If they convince
115. 115.
115, if they convince Isak for the project, yes, why not? And if they offer him more wages than Newcastle, why not? What is stopping Chelsea? Okay, Hossam, why is stopping
I'll tell
Chelsea
you
from
what
going
the
to
project.
Isak?
The project.
Okay, so you agree with me that Newcastle are more attractive than Chelsea?
Yes, the project wise,
okay.
100%. Project wise, of course, I don't trust the Chelsea project. Why would I move?
So Newcastle are more attractive than Chelsea.
As a project, of course, I trust my career in the hands of Saudis a lot more.
Mickey here says Madueke and Broya with 40 million for Isak can get the deal done.
So you call me a Chelsea hater, and then you do something that's done on FIFA. Oh, you can have Broya and Madueke. Oh, yes, I'm sure Newcastle will say yes to Broya and Madueke. What a dumbass.
Don Plymouth, that could be your new name.
That's
So
not
if
new
by some wild chance Chelsea finish above Liverpool, will you be Slot and Michael Edwards out? You're already Slot out, aren't you? Pretty much.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say those two words ever again. It is what it is. But when it comes to Liverpool, listen, we'll see what happens in the transfer window.
What would you say if Chelsea finish above Liverpool? I want to get a straight answer from you. Be a man and answer. Be a man and answer it.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster.
That's it.
Yeah, 100%. It's a disaster.
After all what you said, and Mariska
there is
out.
no way we finish below that shit club. Trust me.
If Chelsea finish above Liverpool, you have to.
I've already made a bet, by the way, but you just didn't win.
I know you're gonna dye your hair blue and just sing Chelsea songs.
Sing
that's
a
not
Chelsea
enough,
song.
Habibi.
What do you mean that's not enough? What do you
What
want?
is that?
Stand up
It's
there
so
and do a
easy. You can
TikTok
put
dance?
mascara in your hair and that's it, bro.
Mascara's on the eye, not the hair, Mo.
You're not allowed to have tattoos, are you, Sam?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, it's a shame because it's a shame because if it wasn't against your religion, I'd never ask you to do something against your religion. Then you can get a Chelsea tattoo on your leg. That would be great.
Yeah,
but
I would be so confident I'd do that if it was allowed. That's how.
Yeah. I hear you. I didn't think you
Mo
were.
Salah's better than all their forwards. Van Dijk's better than all their defenders. Trent's better than all their fullbacks. McAllister, Allison. Like I have about 5 players that are gonna win me 60 points by themselves. So I'm not worried about no Chelsea. Chelsea are
even if they sign Isak.
Chelsea are underneath my feet when it comes.
Even
to
if they sign Isak.
I'm worried about City and Arsenal. I'm not worried about Chelsea. Chelsea are nobodies compared to me.
Speaking of Arsenal,